Matt Jackson, here we are at the Circuit of the Americas, the famous racetrack here in Austin, Texas.
Yes, here today we're camping in our buses at Circuit of the Americas.
Yes, Matt Jackson. So this is they do this every year here, vintage race cars. There's everything you can imagine. There's old, you saw that Jaguar, there's Formula cars, F1 cars, Indy cars, even old Cup cars. Listen to the background. That was a GT500 Shelby.
Yeah, so we're going to take you with us on this fun-filled weekend of vintage racing.
Vintage racing and vintage camping. It's VW Live.
Okay, we just left camp and we're going to go check out the cars. There it is, Circuit of the Americas. Woo! And there's turn one.
Great. So where we're walking into now, we're walking into the paddock area here for COTA and the vintage car races. This is where they pre-grid the cars. So right now it looks like a bunch of Formula Fords are lining up. Remember, these are vintage cars. This is all the paddock and the garage area. So we're gonna walk down there and here at COTA, man, this is awesome.
What is this?
It's a Formula Vee.
It's for sale.
I know.
We need to do this, Gary. VW Life, the next level.
40 horses of fury. This is VW Life. This is the next level. Here come the V's. Listen to that. Oh, look how many there are, Matt Jackson.
There's so many of them.
The coolest thing about Formula V's is it's like a free-for-all on the design. Look at all the different versions.
So as long as your motor's relatively all the same.
40 horses. Yep.
Wow.
40 horses. Look at this one. And look, some of them, look at the uniqueness of them. Every one of them's different.
Like the green one's very angular and then that one's very curvy.
Yeah, you can see, look at you can see the valve cover on this one.
Oh yeah, there it is, the orange valve cover.
They run wide fives. They got a beam on the front.
Look at all these VW guys. This is awesome.
Amazing. Look, that one's 1968. That's a Formula V. You can always see. Look at see the beam. These are Formula V's. Look, they run a link pin front suspension, right? I mean, it's a link pin, just basic old standard Volkswagen beam. They flip. Look, everything's flipped here with the transmission and the motors in the front. It's just reversed, right? So it looks kind of weird when you're looking at it. But the 40 horses, I think they run 28 picks.
28 picks.
I think
that's amazing.
But look at all the different designs. Look at this. I mean, this is a nice. Look at this one right here with a cool little cover.
So yeah, you can see on each one the air cleaner is going straight to the carburetor.
Yeah, straight down. Yeah. Lynx was a hot setup.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Good luck out there. Here we go.
Yep. Here they go. There goes the first V. Power, baby. It's definitely a Volkswagen. It's smoking.
Now we're racing, boys.
Here we go.
Is that the first
That's
V?
the first Formula V. I got a downshift going up the hill.
All right, so the Formula V's are grabbing third gear, you think?
That'd be hilarious. Probably not.
No. You just came up to this car and you got really excited.
Oh, Matt Jack, this is a car from my youth. So they had a series that ran in the early 70s called the Formula 5000 series. And these cars were fast. And back then, race car drivers, they had to work. They had to work for a living. That means they would go race. So Formula 5000 was a road racing series. You had IndyCar stars and Formula One stars would come over here. And what made these interesting was they were running stock block 5-liter V8s. And this is a Lola chassis out of England. But this right here was driven by Allenser Sr. And then Parnelli Jones was the team owner on this.
So this is a huge piece of history.
This is big time history here. Yeah, this is really cool. I love this. I love the discrepancy. Look at in the wheels, the little bitty front wheels and the big giant back ones. It's just, what a cool car. What a cool car. Matt Jackson, those would be fuchsias. Look at those.
Wow.
Polished fuchsias.
That's awesome. Let's go check out these other Porsches too. Wow.
They're cool, baby.
Look at this, Gary.
Yeah, Matt Jackson, look at the generator. They drilled it, probably, look, it's gutted. And they drilled it out. So all this is just a shaft going through, and then they drilled it out for weight. Smart man, never passes up anything free.
One per customer.
Is that what it said? Oh, K&N.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, when you're welding in the pit.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, those were loud.
Yeah, these are the Trans Am cars, and what a comeback the Trans Am series has had. The Trans Am was amazing in the late 60s with muscle cars and everything, and it really kind of petered out. But man, the last few years, I think Tony Perella, who runs the SVRA, actually has put the Trans Am series together with his vintage car racing, and you can see these cars, they have they got really good cost containment, different series of cars, great, some sponsors are stepping in, you got some great drivers here today, Paul Tracy, Boris Setter here today. I mean, this is really a big time motorsports today. So tell us a little about Formula Vee, and your name again?
Is Nick Palgrave, yeah.
Nick, and where are you from, Nick?
I'm from England originally.
I can never guess with that accent.
Yeah, I live in Colorado now.
Okay.
So just outside of Denver.
And so you came down for the vintage car races, huh?
That's right, yeah.
That's a long way to trailer, huh?
It is, yeah. 32-hour drive for 2 hours on the track.
That's worth it though, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So Nick, tell us a little bit about Formula V's. I mean, we got a little bit of history about them. I mean, we sit here, we've been identifying Volkswagen pieces and parts on that's.
Okay, so all these cars, they're all a custom built tube frame chassis, but then you have to use all the Volkswagen components.
Okay.
So you have to use the transaxle, you have to use the 1200 engine, you got to use the front beam,
right?
The original steering box. You can move it, but you got to use it. And you have to run the generator and the fan, the cooling fan as well.
Sure. Well, I mean, so from the standpoint, so you're running a 40 horse. 1200, but it's, what are you doing to, I mean, these are race engines, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's closer to 60 horses, actually.
Oh, wow. I need one of those. I have a 63 Beetle, and it's a straight up 40. 60 horses, really?
So we have to use the original carburetor, the 28 PCI, and the original intake manifold as well. There's a few guys that specialize in building them, just for Formula Vee racing.
Wow.
And they do it. As long as it's stock gearbox, you can use different gears.
Sure.
It's got to be from a Volkswagen.
So did
box.
y'all, I mean, this is a super fast track. You're changing the gears here as opposed to some other tracks?
Yeah, typically on these cars, because we go so fast, you're really only using third and fourth gear.
Right.
And most of the V racing, all the tracks, it's pretty much third and fourth gear.
So
and they're so light, they're so fast through the corners.
Yeah.
I mean, 825 pounds.
Oh
okay. So we're actually in the group with the Formula Bees, these big old Brabhams.
Right.
And through the S's, I mean, we're going the same speed as them. Of course, on the straightaway, they just. But for us, a lot of the part of the racing is the drafting. You're gonna have to draft.
Really?
Yeah. And you'll see that in the race this afternoon. There's 3 of the guys here, real good. They'll kind of get together, and then they'll get in a draft, and you can go so much faster.
Oh my gosh! I would never think you would draft in a
Why
V.
wouldn't you think that? We do that in our buses.
Yeah, well, that's true. We do draft in our buses. That's true. But look at a bus compared to this. This is 825 pounds.
800.
I had that much junk on my roof rack, Matt Jackson.
These cars only do like 100 miles an hour, but then when you get on the straightaway, if you're in a 2-car, 3-car draft or whatever, you can go way over that. This is a one-off car.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I've read a little bit about Formula V's, and that's kind of the thing. Back in the day, it was like, people
build their own.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever, right?
Yeah, so there's this guy, Tip Chaffee, and I've got his name on this side there. And so he raced a V, and he decided he wanted to build his own car. So he designed it, and he built it in his barn in upstate New York. Then he raced it in the late 60s.
Okay.
And then put it back in the barn. I guess kind of life got in the way. kids and stuff. And then he went back to get it a number of years later, and his ex-wife now had sold the car. So he went looking for it. He tracked it down and he bought it back about 45 years later.
Wow.
So he came out, and he's out in New Mexico, but he came up and he raced with us in Colorado, and he struggled a little bit just trying to get it to be reliable. I worked with him, helped him around the track and everything, but he's getting up there now. He's in his 80s now. Wow. And so this is a challenge. He actually let me have this car with the idea that I would restore it and race it. So I rebuilt the car because it was all chopped up, so we made it like the original car. I discussed everything with him through the whole process. So he sent me emails and saying, well, this is how it used to be.
When he was running 68, were they getting 60 horsepower out of the motors then?
No,
yeah, I was going to say.
No. And back in 68, this was the original roll bar right here that kind of came across. It didn't go up to here.
So this is new for regulations.
Yeah, because you've got to be 2 inches above your helmet, the absolute minimum. And so his helmet would be level with this, this thing.
It's like
he even rolled the car once. I think he had a little tin cup helmet. But the thing I liked about the Vees is everybody's equal, so it's really, really close racing it, and it's all about the driver. And if you kind of team up, you can draft people. If one guy gets out of front, two people can kind of stay together and they can catch him. And the V racing was always so close. Right. And I found that in the production car racing, it wasn't quite the same. So we'll have races. You might have 5-6 cars across the finish line within a second of one another, and races are often won and lost by tenths and hundredths of a second.
These cars were just, from a budget standpoint, it was a way to get in. Is it still like that pretty much?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The motors will last, a couple of seasons.
Oh, excellent.
Maybe just a minor refresh. Okay. You can get as many as 4 years out of a motor.
Okay.
I raced this class because I want everybody to be equal, and I think racing production cars, often it was the person who spent the most money, had the fastest car, and that was that.
So, well, Nick, first of all, thank you for your time and awesome and showing us. This is just amazing. The one-off of this and everything like that, and you coming down from Colorado for this, and what's your expectations when you get on the track here in another hour or so?
Well, I'd like to get the top 5. We'll see how the race goes.
We'll definitely be rooting for you, and I'll just say thank you so much for your time, and we've got a VW Life sticker for you.
Oh, awesome! That's
great. It might slow
thank
you down because it has a bus on it. I don't know about that, but thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Great chatting with you.
There's our boy Nick right there. There's Nick. Gary, what do you think? End of day one.
Day one at the vintage car races here at COTA have been amazing. The weather's perfect. We have, I lost count. I can't even count that how many buses we have here. It's amazing, Matt Jackson. We're sitting here on the longest straightaway watching these cars. We're figuring they're hitting about 140 maybe or 200 miles an hour, somewhere in between there. A lot faster than a bus will go. I know that much.
All right, now it's time for camping.
Yeah, we are camping, Matt Jackson, but it's time to get the grills going, get some food going. I'm going to make some tacos, and we're going to eat good, and then we're going to go swimming.
Second, claims his first pole position for Extreme GT that last lap.
Tacos.
4:23, I think, for him.
Look at that, Matt Jackson.
Al Pastor?
Al Pastor.
That's Spanish.
That means pork in Espanol.
Time of the weekend, but
Seasoned to perfection. The only thing I forgot was the cilantro.
Oh, shoot.
But we'll put some lime on there.
Knox takes the pole position for tomorrow.
You're like Julia Child.
Oh, dude. Dude, this is like, look at this. This is the big time here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, good.
It's your valve.
You think the valve's bad?
Oh, it's pumping.
Oh, good. Seems safe.
Now that smells like camping. You're not filming this for your YouTube channel?
Yeah, this is not going on.
Oh, yes, it is.
That's Nick Jackson. How hot is fire?
I will.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
All right. It's gonna be like crazy hot though, so watch out.
Oh, we had a little do overnight, but we're looking forward to racing, and hopefully it'll be another fun-filled day.
Another fun-filled day here at the old, what they call Circuit of the Americas.
What's the Breakfast of Champions?
This moment, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you from the folks, the good folks at Pop-Tarts. Today we're going unfrosted strawberry, aka the Breakfast of Champions.
Unfrosted, folks, as cheap as they get.
That's it.
Show us how you cook them at the campsite.
Well, Matt Jackson, you got this fancy little thing right here, and it's got these little things on, these little springies, and so you got the heat comes up. It's better than any kind of toaster oven you could ever imagine.
Is it really?
It only takes about six minutes.
6 minutes per piece of toast.
Per piece. Oh, don't touch it. I don't want to burn yourself.
We got a wreck. First lap. First race. All right, the fastest cars are out on track. We're going to try to get some good footage.
These are free. And you know what? Smart man never passes up anything free, even if it's old tires.
Look at all these free tires. So we're debating on which ones to take as souvenirs.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that one's pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna take that one.
Goodyear Eagle?
Yeah, look at that.
Boy, that one's got some wear on it. Look at that. We're gonna put them in this trailer.
Hey, look, he's filming the...
Daniel with Hoosier Tire is hooking us up with a cart so we can stack the tires deep on Jason's bike.
Awesome. You guys can do it.
Here.
I'm getting
Max capacity.
We got room for maybe one more.
I can tell.
Loading and lifting.
Oh, that seems secure. Yeah, that'll work.
Slide that one back over.
Here's Tomater.
When I what? Oh, yeah.
Really, you know, when you come here, it's about the racing, but it's also just about cars and getting close and looking at stuff.
Oh yeah, you get a look. You just get a smell on Matt Jackson.
Yeah, the
you know,
smell.
the smell and the sound.
Yep.
Like this car right here won Le Mans for like 5 straight years. 01, 2, 3, 4. Oh, didn't win in 3 and 5. I mean,
Wow.
a Le Mans winning car. I mean, think about that.
And there goes the Mazda. We're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna drive down to the paddock. 8 Volkswagen, 9 Volkswagens into the pit lanes at Circuit of the Americas. What could go wrong?
Yeah, you're in the middle of a race.
VW Life in the paddock at Circuit of the Americas. I'm gonna take this one. All right, a lot of us got free tires, so now we're heading out. Well, I had a fun weekend, and I hope you had a fun weekend.
VW Life this weekend at the Coda track. What an awesome time, Matt Jackson. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, tell your aunts, tell your uncles, tell everybody you know about VW Life. We do this for you, the VW community. This is what it's all about, Matt Jackson.
That's right, baby. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.